Hello there, my name is Linda and this is my channel Linda T70. Really good to have your company today. Thank you so much for returning viewers, and if you're new, hello, and I hope you like my videos and stick with me. So today I've had a bit of a week with sorting. I tend to do my videos, I film them, and I tend to put them up for the next day or two. I don't have a backlog of videos, but this week I've had to sort out my Christmas decorations, some of which I've filmed, but I've not put it, uploaded it yet onto YouTube. So that's probably I'm going to do that next week. And today I thought I'll sort out my Halloween decor, because I've got a reasonable amount of that. And the reason I'm doing all this is because I've always over decorated. I've always enjoyed it. My house is usually packed with Christmas decorations, and I'm not a nutcase. I don't put my tree up in June or anything. And I decorate for Halloween a little bit, and if we're having a party or a kids party, I go put more stuff up. But I've just had enough of it all now. It's getting too much for me. So up and down ladders and things, and I can still do it, but I'm just thinking a lot of it is I do for the children, the grandchildren, and a lot of them are getting older now, and they don't really, they like it, they make good positive comments, but the Halloween stuff, quite honestly, scares the bejeebers out of some of them, so I have to be a bit careful with that. So to that end, I've done the Halloween sort out today, and anything I don't want, and I've tried to be as ruthless as I can, is going to current husband, who I'm still going to call current husband most of the time because it's a habit. Sorry if it offends or people don't like it. So current husband and one of our daughters are going to do a car boot sale on Sunday, and hopefully get rid of a lot of it. It's probably the quickest way of doing it, and anything that's left over, well, it can, I don't know, we'll have a think about that. The reason I'm telling you all this is if I'm doing these different videos and telling you the same thing 2 or 3 times, I do apologise. It's just the way my brain works. I do tend to tell people the same thing over and over again. Anyway, so what I'll do is today we've sort of weeded out the decor that I'm going to keep for Halloween, and I'll just run through that with you in a bit if you'd like to see it. If not, obviously, you can turn the video off. But before that, I was just going to do a little catch up with you about a couple of things. So the Christmassy thing will come at some point next week probably. And also the downstairs loo, thank you so much for people that have showed such an interest in it. I didn't know my downstairs loo was that fascinating to so many of you. It's well on its way. I'm not going to show it to you until it's actually finished and looks how I kind of want it to look. So that will probably be next week. We've got I'm still waiting for a couple of bits of wall art, and current husband's got to plumb the towel rail in, but that doesn't make any difference to the video. But there's and he's got to do the siliconing around the tiles. I've done all the grouting, so I think it's looking all right actually. I'm quite pleased with it. So that'll be hopefully next week. So there's a couple of things. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is give me your opinion if you'd like to see a bit of a loft, not transformation, that's over egging the pie a bit really, it won't be a transformation, but my loft is in a right old mess because of taking stuff out, and over the winter people just go up there and bunch stuff up there, and then I can't even walk around up there, so I'm going to do a tidy up. So if you'd be interested in that as a video, I'm going to do it anyway, so if you want me to film it, let me know. Now the first thing to tell you today is a spider update. I've heard lots of spider stories from you this week, so thank you for that. Basically she's gone. I don't know where she's gone. On the day that I found her lurking in the corner of my bath, I went that evening, so she was in there while I was, she's only a little tiny spider, you know, not a massive great tarantula or anything. And where was I going with this? Yeah, she was just in the corner of the bath, and she stayed there. She was all right. She must have got a little bit of spray on her, but she was quite happy. And when current husband had his bath, when he came in from work, I said, if there's a spider in the bath still, please could you just try not to do anything dreadful to her. And he didn't, and the spider, as far as I know, was still there then. And then my son came in and had a shower sometime after that, and after that time I haven't seen the spider since. So I think she's probably swimming down the pipes of the sewerage system now. I don't know whether he deliberately would have washed her away. I forgot to mention it to him, so I can't really blame him. So she's not there anymore, but I have found a new spider friend. All the boxes that I've been taking out of the loft and emptying, I've just taken them back upstairs to go back in the loft, the empty ones, and there's a new little spider on a little web there. So I don't know why, it must have come down with all the stuff. I don't know why a spider would live in the loft where there's not really much of a supply of food. I don't know, who knows. Anyway, so thank you for the spider stories as well. Some of them were a bit scary, but yeah, I know lots of people don't like them, but I don't really mind them. In fact, my mother story, my mother told me when I was born, as I've explained, I was born in Brisbane, and she said that when I was being born, she was obviously lying on the bed thing, and she looked up and she said there was a tarantula on the ceiling of the delivery room. Now, if that is accurate, I don't know whether it would have been a tarantula. I mean, it's Australia, so I suppose I know they have black widows, spiders and things, but perhaps that's why I've grown up not being that scared of them, because it obviously didn't drop on her or anything. You know, she didn't mind spiders either. My sister, however, complete opposite, absolute screaming abdabs at the sight of one. But yeah, so yeah, one saw me into the world. Now, the other things I was going to mention are just a couple of things that you've put in comments over the last few weeks, and I've just forgotten to, I don't think I've answered you, and I've forgotten to mention it. And I do, if you are, as I say, if you take the time to listen to me and ask me questions, I will do my best to answer. Somebody asked me about my little dog and how she's getting on. Thank you for, you know, caring about that. In fact, I've just been to the vet this morning. She's had a little bit of an attack of being a bit icky dick. So she's been there, and she's been given a tablet, and she seems all right now. Nothing going on with each end or anything, just a little bit sick, but she's been sick 2 or 3 times, and I just wanted to get her checked out. So apart from that, she's fine, thank you. Hopefully the tablet will do the trick. It's like an antiemetic, I think. So hopefully she'll stop. She hasn't been sick since I came back, so hopefully it's working okay. She's an old girl, and we know I'm an old girl myself, and yeah, you do start getting things, don't you, that go wrong. But yes, so thank you. She's, broadly speaking, she's doing fine. She's quite a good sprightly dog for 12, and everyone, even the vets, say, well, she doesn't look that old, because she's basically not the dog version of me, where you go a bit, you know, when you're older. So that was that. Also, somebody, I can't remember who it was now, but somebody asked me a while back in the comments about the graveyard videos that I watch. I mean, I'm not sort of a goth or anything, so I don't suppose you'd necessarily look at me and think, oh, she's obsessed with dead things. But it's not really quite like that. I don't know. I think the graveyard and the film star graveyard channels I watch, you know, your Lamont at Large, Scott on Tape. There's another one, Days with Jordan the Lion. He sometimes does that sort of thing. There's quite a few people. A couple of channels that I recommended to you recently, and Hollywood Graveyard, which is my absolute favourite. It's a thing about old Hollywood and old not necessarily American, but film stars in general from the 40s and 50s. That kind of resonates with me. And I suppose the other thing is getting older, and the older you get and the more people around you that you lose, the more you come to terms in a way. I'm not saying, of course I don't look forward to anything happening to me, and I hope it doesn't happen for another 20 years. I'd be quite happy to irritate people for the next 20 years if I possibly could. But yeah, it's not because I'm ghoulish or I don't, I'm not obsessed with any of the witchcraft or anything sort of ghoulish. It's just I find it interesting, and it's basically we're all going to end up the same way, aren't we? And it's just interesting to hear people's stories, because a lot of these channels you hear the story about the person, and obviously so many people that aren't around anymore have done amazing things in this life and transformed the world really in so many respects. So I just find it interesting, and I suppose the short answer is I suppose it's an age thing. I never used to be interested in anything like this when I was 20 or 40, but I suppose the closer this sort of stuff gets to you, the more it's in the back of your mind, and the more funerals you go to and whatever. And of course it's a natural part of life. The only tragic thing about it is people going before their time, and we know there's far too many people for all sorts of reasons who go too soon, so that is a completely different thing. But yeah, so that was kind of, I hope that sort of answers that. And the other thing was, somebody asked me this probably as a result of me talking about Christmas decorations. Somebody asked me, who do I buy for at Christmas and how many presents do I buy? Which is quite an interesting question really, because I like to know what other people do as well as us. So if we look at the last 20 years that I've been with current husband and been a step parent as well as a parent, when we didn't have any grandchildren and I was working, so I had more disposable income, we used to buy we have 5 children between us. My parents and my sister had already died when I met current husband, so I didn't have those to think about. So we buy for each other. Me and current husband buy something for each other. We bought for each of our 5 children, and we would spend quite a lot on them. I would always do stockings for them as well as buying them other presents. Then they started to get partners. So, for example, at birthday time, I would give my, bearing in mind my children have got another parent, and so, they don't just have to rely on what I give them, but I give each of my children, and we give all of our collective children an amount of money, and their partners who aren't our children, we give half of that amount. So it's a tenner. No, it's not. No, we give them about 100 quid each, and then we give the partners 50 quid, or buy them something to that, roughly that value. So that's what we do for them. And Christmas, we don't, now we've got grandchildren, we don't buy for our children, we buy for their children, which works out quite well. We did start this thing where we used to do Secret Santa, and that was okay. And then people, whatever you do at Christmas, people go, oh, what can I buy for 25 quid? Oh, or I can't afford 25 quid. Because of course, all of our children, having young children, their money is already spent before Christmas and birthdays come into it, isn't it? Because it's expensive to run a home and run a family. So what we tend to do now is we had a family Christmas lunch out last year, so we did a Secret Santa for that. But generally speaking, we stopped that and we just spend our money on our grandchildren. Now that's not to say that my, 1 or 2 of our children do give us things. My 2 children do tend to give me and Kenny, current husband, something, just a little gesture, because they want to. I insist that they don't, but they say, well, I want to, so they do. And they're all very good, to be quite honest. So it's really, to answer the question, I would say as a general rule, I buy for current husband and he buys for me, and we buy for our grandchildren. Now, I try to keep a £100 spend on each, because we've got 9, £100 limit on the grandchildren, but you can't really. It depends. The older they get, the more expensive the things they want, and the smaller they are. So it's all a bit of it's difficult, really, isn't it? There's no easy answer. So, and then, as I say, obviously we buy our children on their birthdays, or give them money now because it's just easier. My mother used to buy me presents all through my life for all my birthdays, and she used to buy me some of the most. Well, I had a lime green crocheted jumper once, which, if you'd have bought that for someone in 1971, it probably would have been all right. But this must have probably, it was completely something I didn't want. And she did. I said to her, Mum, why don't you just save your money and just give me a tenner or something for my birthday? That would be absolutely fine. But she did insist on going. I think she used to shop in charity shops mainly, and buy me something that, you kind of get out every time she'd come round. But so I've always had this thing with my children since they've been adults: just give them some money. I know it looks like you don't care, but it's the safest thing to do, because then they can just do what they like, can't they? So I don't know if I've made that very clear or not. So buy for each other. Tend to miss out our children's generation now, and we buy for our grandchildren. So that's broadly it, but it's open to interpretation, really. Right, so those were the few questions that were outstanding. If you have asked me anything before and I haven't replied, or I've not mentioned it, please remind me, because I'm a bit of a funny old thing. Right, so I'm going to show you the few bits and pieces that I've got for autumn. Haven't bought anything at all this year apart from the 2 things you saw on my last video, which are the if I turn that round, so the garland and the wreath. These are from last year. I don't even know what's in here. This is just, we've got these are from, Hobbycraft, I think. So I've got this in here. I've got that, like a pick. This, like I say, this is all in the spirit of just cutting everything down, because it's just all too much for a poor old dear like me. Another pumpkin. Oh, feels like it's real, but it can't be, can it? Because it had gone mouldy by now. Perhaps it's, I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting to hear. There we go. Oh, and a garland. This is a garland. So this is all from last year. I don't know where I got that from. I think it might have been the range, somewhere like that. Doesn't matter anyway, because it was last year and you don't really care, do you? So I've got a few bits there. I will make an effort to put these things out, but this house is in such disarray at the moment, and we've got our grandchildren staying this weekend as well, and I've got to try and tidy everything away. Let me just get up and get this bigger box. I've got my Practically Perfect in Every Way t-shirt on today. I know, the humour never starts, does it? So, yeah, this was from Dunelm. If you didn't see that video, it was £12. And the matching garland, which is 1.8 centimetres, so just under 2 metres, a yard. Yeah, well, I was going to go into yards and things, but you don't care, do you? And this was £18. Oops. I got this from somewhere. This glittery. I'm sorry about the sun. Glittery pumpkin. This little pumpkin. I thought I'd make some sort of table display with it. I don't really know but why, but I think it's because it makes the kids laugh. This little broom. I used to have a really big one, but I don't know what happened. I think it got broken. So it's a little witch's broom, and it's you switch it on and it moves around the floor. So it's quite amusing. I'll switch it on, but brace yourself because I can't remember what it plays, and I think it's quite loud. Yeah, I know. And it just basically, in time to the music, it moves around the floor so people trip over it, which is highly amusing. And something else that is one of these noisy things. I bought this last year, and did I get it from Home Bargains? I don't even remember. Oh, it might tell me on the bottom. Do you know, about 12, 14 years ago, my daughter and her boyfriend were living with us for a period of time while they saved up a deposit to buy a house. And when it came to Halloween time, I think we were must have been having a party, and they bought me it was called Wanda the Witch, and sort of and do they call it animatronics or is it just animated? I don't know what the difference is. So a witch on a broomstick, like a life-size, a human-size witch. And she was flying on this, looking like she was flying on a broomstick. And it was from Asda. And I think it was about 40 quid at the time. I didn't buy it, but I'd looked at it. I'd seen it in Asda and I thought, that's a bit much. I won't buy that. But I told them about it and they went and bought it for me. So she was flying on this, looked like she was flying on this broomstick. And she was all, if you went past her, she'd light up, her eyes would light up, and she'd have a few sayings that she'd say, just basically frighten everybody. And she's great, and she's called Wanda, and she's still in my loft. And I thought, I'll tell you about her, but I'm not going to bring her down because she's quite big. She's on a big stand. And I was looking for a picture of her today. Well, I couldn't find a decent picture, but then I thought, well, you're probably not that interested. But I found 2 people selling the same thing on eBay, 200 quid a pop. I thought, but she's not going anywhere because I really like her. And I also bought a scarecrow who talks. He doesn't have a conversation with you. That'd be good, wouldn't it? He's got a few sayings. Again, when you walk past him, he comes to life, and again, that scares the little ones as well. But I've kept him because I thought, I don't know why I did, but I've thrown such a lot of stuff away, or I'm disposing of such a lot of stuff. I thought I'd keep them. And this little thing, he's quite good. I thought it was out of the Rocky Horror Show, but it's not, is it? It's something else that I can't remember now, because I did look it up and I thought, you must have thought she's a right stupid woman. Does it tell you on there? Anyway, right, so it's a little plant with a mouth, and again, brace yourself because this is quite loud. Oh. I know, little things, hey? But I thought I'd keep him because why not? So I kept that, and the Wanda the Witch, who's still upstairs, my animated little broom, and the other stuff is just couple of little, I remember buying this last year for Halloween. It's just I think this might have been from the range, but I don't know. But as I say, it doesn't matter now, does it? Because it was ages ago. It's all twisted up, but some little black stems with stars and little orange what's the word, berry type things on it. So I've got a couple of those, and I have got a bit of this. I should have really untangled this before I came on, shouldn't I? Oh dear. Some ivy, which I think I put round my fireplace last year, this stuff, and this little sort of, a couple of little picks of these flower things. I don't know if these were Halloween or just harvest things, but they're kind of, that's what I want to stick to really, the autumn harvest type thing with the pumpkins rather than witches. And I found several sets of these little battery lights that are pumpkins. I have got some spider ones, but I don't really want to get those out. I don't know if you can see that or if that's blinding you. Little smiley faces there. So yeah, I've got a couple of those. So I will do something. I'll do a little table thing and something around the fireplace probably. Yeah, I've got another set of these. What else have I got to tell you? Let me have a think. Going to see with my daughter this afternoon. She's in the process of buying her first home, so we're going to have a look at that together. I've been to the outside and it looks really nice. It's a new build, so I'm excited about that. Oh, do you know, I've been watching this this morning on the TV today. I think I've said this before. I like to have some noise in the background when I'm here on my own. And honestly, I don't know where they get these presenters from. We've now got this Kat Deely and Ben Shepherd, and I'm just watching them and listening to them. And I mean, I don't have anything against either of them. I think, you know, they seem like, she certainly seems like she's a nice enough lady. But I just think that this programme's kind of a bit past itself, isn't it? They've taken over from the other two who shouldn't be named. For, well, Holly Willoughby, you can name her, but the other bloke we shouldn't. Although I did think that was no, I won't give my opinion on that because I'm not here to give my opinion on things and you know, start arguments in the comments. So I won't say anything about that. But so old Philip got the boot, didn't he? I always thought there was something a bit odd about him. And I used to say that to my daughter. I said to her, there's just something there, isn't there? I don't know what it is, but he comes across as such a lovely bloke, and I bet he isn't. And I was actually proven right about that in the long run. I never expected what we heard, but anyway. But I think with these things, that Ben Shepherd, it didn't seem to quite fit into the presenting role as well as some. Some of the other people that they have on when he's on holiday seem to be better. He doesn't seem to have much of a sense of humour, does he? And I think also they need more sort of old curmudgeonly people like me on there, don't they? You know, the ones that don't sit there going, oh, you've written a book. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, we love your records there. I mean, it's all just so manufactured, isn't it? And tedious. And they're telling you what that girl that does the fashions. Oh, apparently denim's been in. I mean, denim's in this year, but I mean, when's there been a year when there's not been denim in? I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole new topic and I won't go on about it, but I just thought, I was watching them and I thought it's trying too hard to look like you're having a great time, I think, on these programmes, these presenters. But then I suppose it's a bit of that sort of job, isn't it? You wouldn't want some old misery talking to you every morning, would you? I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. I don't know how long this video's been. It's a bit shorter than normal, I think. You'll be glad to know. So next week, hopefully, I can tell you how the car boot sale went. I really hope you get rid of. I think you've just got to price things right, haven't you? Because some treasure to you might only be worth £1 to somebody or 50p or whatever, and you've just got to get over yourself, haven't you? Because I don't want any of this coming back in. So I'll do a little bit of autumn decor sometime in the next week or two. I will show you the Christmas video. I will show you the loo video, and I will wait to see if you are interested in me in a next couple of weeks maybe doing a tidy the loft video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure there's something else I want to tell you and I can't think what it is, but if I do I'll bung it on at the end. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please do so. I'd love to get to my 2,000 subscribers. I keep saying I'm not going to go on about it, and then I go on about it. But, you know, just not too many more to go, but enough. So if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. And it does, as I say, and everyone says, and I know this probably gets on people's nerves, listening to folk all the time and they all say the same thing, but it really does make a difference to your channel. And I mean, none of us, unless we're lucky and, you know, working for companies and getting people to sort of, you know, to affiliate with, and I'm certainly not, it's, you know, it's not something, we don't really make anything much out of YouTube, and that's not really the point. I didn't start it for that. I started it because I just thought it'd be quite a nice thing to do, and I've been right. I've enjoyed doing it. But it's nice to get your channel pushed out a bit more, and to get some more views. It's kind of it makes you feel good, makes you feel warm inside, as I think I might have said that before. So anyway, I'm just trying to explain why we ask you. It's not because I'm sure it gets on your nerves, but that's the reason most of us ask you anyway. So thank you so much for my regulars. Thank you if you're new. Hope you've enjoyed me rattling on again about something and nothing. And I will let me know in the comments about anything I've spoken about. And I will see you very soon. So you take care now and bye-bye. This is Halloween stuff that we brought down from the loft this morning. So just to recap, I might be repeating myself, but we're going to do current husband and one of my daughters are going to do a car boot sale this weekend to get rid of a lot of decor. This is all Halloween. There's a massive box here. I'm kind of working on the premise, if I can't think what's in the boxes, I really don't need to keep them, do I? So we've got a bit, I'm going to do a sort of an eyeball thing with this because I can't possibly bear the thought of going through every tiny thing, and I kind of reckon if I haven't missed it, I don't need it, and I'm not likely to do any more children's parties because some of this stuff scares them anyway, so there's not really much pleasure in it. Anyway, so just a brief overview here. I've got a couple of posable skeletons. This is what I bought the other day, and that little box there, I think that's stuff that I might just put as autumn decor. Can't remember what's in there. It looks like there's a pumpkin in there. This is all fancy dress that we've had over the years. Some of it is stuff that I've worn or that current husband's worn, or that, you know, the children have worn, or grandchildren potentially. And it just sits there, it doesn't go anywhere, so if anyone can make use of that, great. So that's going. This I don't even know what's in here, I haven't really looked. You know, this sort of stuff that this haunted house thing. I did buy this last year. I bought 3 ghosts, and I bought a something that inflated. What was it? Or was that a Christmas thing? I don't know, I expect I'll come across it. Like a Halloween wall, door wreath thing, just, you know, bits and pieces. There's all this stuff in here. I haven't gone through that yet. I mean, it's all decent stuff as far as, you know, decor, Halloween or Christmas decor can go. It's just that I don't really need it, and it's just, I need to declutter some of this stuff. That box is empty. Anyway, I'll talk to you more about this in a bit. And yeah, this is all stuff that I don't want. So, and just to recap, I mean, this place is in such a mess. I picked the wrong time to do this, but the car boot sale's finished soon, so I have to get it sorted. And so far, this is all the Christmas stuff. I decided to get rid of my candy cane Christmas decor. Sorry, I'm not really holding this camera very well. And there's some lovely stuff in here, but I just can't be bothered with it. And there's loads of cute little candy cane bits of decor down there. So yeah, I'll let you know how I get on later in the day.